Hello student, this is KK Bhatt. Today I am going to teach you the history, second part of chapter 1. Now see here inscription. Inscriptions are writing engraved on solid surface including rock, metal, pillars and stone tables and other structure written in various language and script. This inscription record royal proclamation, religious instructions and give to temples, peoples or villages. Many of these available even today are attributed to the Rajput Chola rulers. See here, inscription play a very important role in our histories. Through those writing materials, we know the actual condition of our history. In those times, there is no use of paper, so people just use rock, metal, pillars, stone, tables, and other structure, and the things has been written in different languages using those materials. In the particular objects, historians just describe about more about Rajput Cholas rulers. Besides, there are several inscriptions on the walls of the Taj Mahal, red forts, and other place walls. You can see those inscriptions on the wall of the Taj Mahal. Whenever you get a chance, you go to see the Taj. There you can see those things, as well as in red forts and other palaces. All these inscriptions usually tell us about the social and economic condition of the people and sometimes even provide dynastic list of kings are their genealogues. It means through this we can understand the real conditions and economic conditions, social condition of those people. Now second is coins. Now see coins. Coins that is given in the picture. Coins is also very important. Through the coins we understand the systems and many things. Look here in the line. Coins give us invaluable information about the polity and economic of a period. The writing on the coins generally conveys the names, date of issue, titles, and portrait of kings, occasionally even their destiny emblem. Through the coins, we understand the time and date of the particulars and on which kings has been launched those coins and so on. Many emblems object we can know through the coins. Coins throw lights on art. On coins we can see the pictures that is based to the art, religion, economic condition, trade, etc. The composition of the metal or alloy used in the coins tell us about the scientific advancement attained during the corresponding period. It means the object which is used to make coins that or describe the scientific events and so many things. Moreover, the distance places where the coins are excavated give an idea about the extent of the empires. The Sultans of Delhi, the Mughal Emperor, the Cholas, other religious rulers issued many coins. These are the rulers who issued many coins. Now see here painting and sculpture, medieval coins. Here are given a symbol about medieval coins. Painting and sculptures also give importance information about medieval history. The painting reflect themes of religion, forest life, court scenes, mythological stories, lifestyle of people. Painting also play a very important role. Through the painting, we understand many things about those time. You can see the Khajuraho there are many sculptures that is describes on the wall. Through that, we understand the culture, tradition, and many things about those time. Different style of maintained painting also involved during the period. The bronze sculptures of the Nataraja, the dancing Shiva, is representing of the sculptures producing during the period. The sculptures were made of bronze, wood, stones, and depicted features of gods and goddess, queen and king. It means through the painting, we understand the realistic condition of rulers and what is the advanced system and society of those time. Now, we are going to read literary sources. Much of our understanding of the medieval period of Indian history comes from a plethora of written sources. This includes both religious and non-religious sources available in the form of biographics and autobiographics. Court chronicles at time called Namas in Persian, historical account by pilgrim states and royal ambassador. Literary sources is also very important to know the history because through that we understand the medieval periods. There are many biography and autobiography had been explained in the course and describe about the cultures, how the kings uh, finalize their systems, and so on, many things. See here, the literary sources usually categorize into indigenous and foreign writing covering subject as such as religion. Through the writing, we understand about the religion, economic condition, politics, and other cultures. A variety of languages such as Persian, Sanskrit, Arabic, Urdu, and many the regional languages were used to produce this bulk of writing. It means there are many language are used to describe their view. These are described in Persian language as well as Sanskrit, Arabic, Urdu, and many other religion languages. Those are describing the standard formation of this system. Now see here, it is interesting to note that paper will not be in use of the Indian subcontinent during the early medieval period. You understand that during the early medieval period, it means when medieval period started. At that time, paper was not in use, so people just compelled to write and describe their view, their things on the palms. You understand? That is a type of blips. So it is interesting to note that paper will not still in use in the Indian subcontinent during the early medieval period. Palm leaves, bark of birds, trees, animal skin were used as material for writing. So far, what they use as a material forming. People just use the animal skin, birds, and palm to describe their material. It was only in the late medieval period that paper became the main writing material. It means when it is the paper came in the late medieval period, from there the writing start to write on paper. Literary sources of medieval history can be divided into following categories. And see here, the literary sources can be divided into two categories. See here what the first. See here, Court Chronicle. A number of schools belonging to this period wrote about history or translating of the period. See here in the figure, you can see in the figure that is described. King was sitting on there, and some poets just used to write poems to describe and praises the king. Now we'll see here. These are known as court chronicle. One well-known example of a court chronicle is Abul al-Qadir Badayanu. Take month of a selection of chronicles, a work in 3 volumes and deals with reign of Babur, Humayun, and Akbar. Quran is Tariq-e-Firoz Shahi, an account of Firoz Shah Tughlaq's reign. Is another famous court chronicle which describes the history of Delhi Sultanate. And through this, we understand that people just describing and praises the king in the court. In the another famous court chronicle which describe the history of the Delhi Sultanate. Through this, we understand the history of Delhi Sultanate. Rajasthani, authored by Kalhanna in the 11th century, provided information about the history of the rulers of Kashmir. Many rulers of this period appointed historians in their courts to record the events of their ruler. In those times, many kings just appointed historians to write more about those people. Usually, historian travels with the rulers and recorded the events. Abul Fazl Akbarnama is a fine example of such work. Abul Fazl Akbarnama, that is the fine example of such work. In third volume, N.A. Akbaris highlights a silent picture of Akbar's modes of governance and statistical report of his empire. A number of foreign travelers, scholars, pilgrims, and royal ambassadors visited the courts of different rulers during the medieval period. It means there are many scholars, monks, as well as others travelers, pilgrims. Those came here, observe and visit the courts of different rulers during the medieval period and left behind accounts of this period apart from writing about the ruler, and they describe how they justice and how they ruled over. So in this way there are many sources we found through the writing way. Apart from writing about the rulers and his administration, they also focus on the life of the common people. Ibn Battuta, the Moroccan travelers and scholars visited India during the rule of the Tughlaqs, wrote the Rela Travels. This book tells us about the geography of India. Al-Biruni's Tariq al-Hind, written about 1930 Common Era, when it accompanied Mahmud Ghazanvi on his campaigns into northern India, is regarded as one of the finest foreign accounts of medieval history. I hope you understand well. In the next video, I will describe more about autobiography and biographies. We tell us differences between biography and autobiographies and biography. I hope you must like this video. Thanks to watch my video.